The September 14th attacks on Saudi oil infrastructure temporarily left the world with 5% of global supply offline, and it shook the market. With me today is Herman Wang from S&P Global Platts to discuss the aftermath of the attacks and the way forward. You're watching Spotlight. So, Herman, can you walk me through the initial impact of the attacks?
Sure.
Obviously, everyone was shocked. We saw a lot of quick reactions. But in general, what was the reaction?
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously, the attacks happened on an early Saturday morning. The oil market wasn't open then. So there was a lot of digesting, trying to figure out the facts on the ground, what exactly happened, what was hit, what was the impact. And we started hearing some reports of, what exactly, what the impact on production would be. But obviously, when the market opened on Monday mornings in Asia time, a lot of those details weren't yet clear. So that's why you saw the 20% spike in oil prices. That was moderated then by U.S. President Donald Trump tweeting that he might consider an SPR release, a Strategic Petroleum Reserve release of crude, which would obviously help mitigate some of the supply risk. And then as more details emerged, and then we had the press conference held by the Saudi energy minister, as well as Aramco officials on Tuesday. And by all accounts, they did quite a masterful job of calming the market, reassuring them that supplies would not be impacted. Now, the interesting thing about this is that we don't know the full, the volumes might fully be replaced, but we don't know the granular details about which barrels of crude will be replaced with customers, because not all oil is the same. Yeah. And the Abqaiq facility that was hit, it largely impacts the Arab Light and Arab Extra Light grades, and there's talk that they might substitute some of that with Arab Medium and Arab Heavy, which are different grades, and refineries need to tweak their operations to process those. We've also heard reports that Saudi Aramco has gone out to the market to try and buy replacement crudes to supply their customers. So all of this is wending its way through the market. Right now, prices haven't, they've given up all their gains pretty much from that initial spike on expectations that the production will come back online, as well as greater global macroeconomic concerns. In terms of the physical market, the which grades of crude get processed and which are actually being produced. The 9.9 million barrels per day of production that Aramco says that it's producing now, with huge chunks of Abqaiq still offline, still being repaired, it's a big question of how much of that 9.9 can actually be exported.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, some of the initial reactions from analysts were, this might impact the IPO, it might impact Saudi Aramco's valuation because of increased risk.
Right.
However, now it seems like Saudi Aramco is going full steam ahead, lots of announcements coming out. Do you see that there might be an impact on its valuation and its local IPO?
I mean, this is an interesting thing because this is like a stress test for Aramco, and obviously not one that they invited. But if they are able to demonstrate to the market that they are fully recovered, that they were able to rebuild from this attack, and in the words of the Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz, rise like a phoenix from the flames. This would obviously be a huge boon to Saudi Aramco. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned, though, some of these effects won't be known for a couple months now, and the full repairs, they're even talking about full capacity won't be restored until November. Yeah. We know that they're fast-tracking this Aramco IPO. There's all kinds of rumors that they may announce something at this investment forum in Saudi Arabia at the end of October, and with an eye maybe to a domestic listing sometime in November. So, you can see a scenario where if this IPO does happen on the Saudi exchange in November, potential investors in this may not have the full picture of how Aramco will be impacted, so there may be some uncertainty.
Thank you so much for joining me, Herman. Really appreciate your insight.
Sure, anytime.
You've been watching Spotlight, where we dive deep into relevant upstream news and analysis. For more, visit our website, follow us on social media, and subscribe to our newsletter.